Hello, my name is Tasleigh Mullins and I'm your host at the Pageant Perspective Podcast, where we go beyond the sash, unveiling stories and celebrating beauty. Today I am joined by Sita, a lady that has entered multiple pageants, and she's going to be talking us through it today. Sita, please introduce yourself.
Good day, everyone. I am Sita Rampershad. I'm a second-year BA Law student at the University of Pretoria, and as Tasleigh said, I've won many different titles that I am excited to share with you guys today.
So, can you tell me a little bit more about yourself and where it all started?
So, I think it all started when I was probably about 5, and my mom and dad, they would take me to the shops, your typical Pick n Pay, Checkers, Woolworths, and the first thing I would do is run to the magazine aisle because I would be, in awe of the women, like the confident women in the front pages of the magazine, and I wanted to be that. I wanted to, find myself on one of those pages in modeling. Mm-hmm. So that's where it all started. And then at the age of 13, one of my friends was busy while she had joined an agency, and she had offered me to, join with her. So that's where it then, I think, took off.
And can you tell me a bit more about going beyond the sash? So you said you study law, and can you tell me about your hobbies? Like just a bit more about yourself outside the world of pageantry.
Okay, so I've got a lot of different hobbies, like an array of them. It ranges from book reading to listening to music to bike riding. I also play piano and
oh, that's nice.
Yes. And
you must play for me sometime.
Oh, of course. I know a few Beatles songs, actually.
So, can you tell me, what is the most rewarding part of your pageant journey?
I think the build-up of self-confidence. When I began modeling, I obviously was coming from a place with some insecurities and low self-esteem.
A lot of us as well.
Yes.
I feel you on that.
Yes, and I think that by joining modeling, I was able to cultivate that sense of high self-esteem and self-confidence, and I was able to empower myself and be able to empower others through empowering myself. So I think, that's one of the most rewarding things modeling has offered me.
I really, really, really love that. So you mentioned to me earlier that your pageant experience, or the pageants that you have entered, have categories, and you chose the talent performance category. Can you elaborate how you what your talent performance was and how you prepared yourself for the talent performance?
Okay, so I don't think it's any surprise that I decided to do a piano piece for my talent category for Mini Miss RSA. It's the sash I'm wearing today, and I played a Beatles piece, Hey Jude. I think it's a really big hit. Everyone should know it. And how I prepared myself is both physically and mentally. So in terms of the physical aspect, I would schedule lessons with my piano teacher. Mm-hmm. She would, take me through the song. I would play it for her, and she would give me feedback. And I would then just build off of that. I would also practice in front of my parents, like a small audience. I think it's always
Are your parents also brutally honest with you? Or are they the type of parents that say, oh no, you're good, my child?
They are the second type, actually.
But you were good though.
Yes, no, I was good. Luckily, I was actually good, so they didn't have to critique anything.
They just had to be honest.
Yes, but my piano teacher was not like that. So she did pick up on the errors and everything.
And she's your piano teacher,
yes,
after all.
She would have noticed the mistakes. But I think practicing in front of a small audience or a big audience, whatever it is, it still has a lot of impact and prepares you well. So that's what I did physically. Mentally, I meditated, and visualized myself, playing well in front of the audience and enjoying myself. And I think that definitely heightened my chances of success.
I love that. So basically what you did was you manifested it. What is it? You
Yes,
manifested it. You really saw yourself being great at it, and you decided, you know what? I see myself being great at it. I'm gonna be great at it. So can you tell me, what community services have you been involved in? It can be within pageantry or outside pageantry, either or.
So outside of pageantry, I have actually done a bit of community service at Wet Nose. My sisters and my friends and I went to Wet Nose last year, and we helped a few of the employees with the jobs around the grounds at Wet Nose. We washed a few collars, played with a few cats, cuddled with them here and there, and we walked some dogs. So it was a very, environmental experience. Much needed.
As a fellow dog lover, not so much cats. Ugh.
Oh,
I'm
we
just
are
kidding.
not the same.
I'm just
We're not
kidding.
the same.
I'm just kidding. Am I?
If you're not.
So I really like that you took on a community service that was something that was dear to your heart. So can you tell me, where do you see yourself in 5 years, and do you see yourself entering more pageants in the future?
So where I see myself in 5 years, career-related or career-wise, is definitely finishing my BA Law degree. It's about a 5-year degree, and I definitely hope to see myself entering the working world when I'm done with it. In terms of pageantry, I definitely see myself entering more competitions and even doing a few castings here and there. Modeling is definitely like an integral part of my life. It's like my entire passion. So I don't see myself leaving it anytime soon.
Oh, and we would love to see you continue in the world of pageantry. I can't wait to see your journey unfold. So can you tell me, what significant challenge have you had to overcome, whether it be in the pageantry world or whether it be personal?
So personally, I failed my driver's license 3 times this year, and I finally passed on the 4th chance. Manual is not easy.
Girl, tell me about it.
It is. Clutch control is not your friend all the time. So it was quite difficult because every time I failed, I would build up this fear with, scheduling the next driving test.
Yeah.
And when it came to scheduling the 4th one, I changed driving schools with someone who I was more comfortable with.
Yeah, because it can't be you. It has to be them.
Yes, it has to. Definitely.
It has to be them.
If it's 3 times, then I think so. So I definitely joined someone who I felt much more comfortable around. And my father and I, as well as my driving instructor, we practiced the route, like physically. We went over it a number of times the day before the test. And I also practiced once again visualizing and meditating just to see myself being victorious in the test.
Okay.
Yes.
And in the world of pageantry, do you have any significant challenges you had to face?
I think probably balancing, academics with modeling. Academics is definitely one of my first priorities. It has been emphasized in my household from a young age. So it was sometimes difficult to balance the pageantry with the education, since both of them are quite demanding. And how I
Overcome it?
Yes, how I overcame it was to, I think, dedicate time to both, even if it's not equal time. Consistency is key.
Yeah.
So I would practice my modeling walks and, the questions at least every 2 days, every 3 days, because it's better to do it. It's better to practice than not to practice, because practice makes perfect.
And just finding that time in between your personal goals and affirmations. I really love that you elaborated how you would do these things, and you are making sure that we know that it is possible,
Yes.
I really love that. Can you tell me a personal achievement that you have achieved, maybe outside of pageantry or even within pageantry, either or?
So I graduated matric with 5 IEB distinctions, actually. And
Curro.
yes, it was not easy to get.
Can we get a hoot hoot?
Thank you. It was definitely not easy to get there. I'm going to be honest, I was surprised myself when I got those 5 distinctions because it was a very rough year.
I can imagine.
But I think when it came down to the finals, like the last few months, that last stretch of the 100 meters, you know, I really put my head down and I focused, you know, like I pretended or, you know, I just blocked out everything else, you know, that would deter me of progressing or moving forward. And I think it was definitely putting pain over pleasure, as unpleasant as that sounds, you know, just focusing.
The end goal.
Yes, just focusing, you know, exactly on what I need to be doing at that moment.
And you know that in this instance, the reward will always be bigger than the journey. Like, you know, the reward at the end will be so worth it.
Yes,
So
exactly.
Can you tell me, who is your biggest role model? You're so amazing. So I really need to know, who is your role model?
I have quite a few, but the current role model of mine is Paris Hilton. Paris Hilton is, you know, a brand ambassador. She's, you know, a model, a DJ. She's so many different things. And on top of that, she's
gorgeous.
Yeah, she's gorgeous. And she actually has ADHD.
Mm-hmm.
And
I did not know that.
The fact that she's able to manage everything and also know how to cope with her, you know, with her mental illness and still like show up despite the difficulties and the challenges she had in her life is just amazing for me. And I think that resonated with me, you know.
Wow, I really didn't know that about Paris Hilton.
Yes,
hey?
she actually, she's written a book, a memoir. It's called Paris Hilton's Memoir. It's an incredible book.
Oh, I should check it out. Like, I haven't really dwelled into like Paris Hilton's world. But this is very interesting. I would really like to know more. So can you please tell me, how do you define success?
I think success is defined by how many times you fail, but you still get up and keep trying. Failure, on the other hand, is when you don't try at all. So even if you don't succeed at something, the fact that you tried it, there's already success in that. That's how I define it.
Oh, girl, same. Actually, that you put how I would define it in my own words, like perfectly in your own words. I really love that. I would have said the exact
Sorry for
same
stealing
thing.
the words from your mouth.
I feel like I'm going to steal what you said. Next time I answer a question like that, I'm going to be like, so, this is what Sita said.
Yeah, just give me the credit. I'm kidding.
No, I will. I'll be like, it was her. So, can you tell me, how do you maintain your physical and your mental health? I know you mentioned the balance between your career or your school, your studying, and the pageant world, but how do you maintain your physical and mental well-being through it all?
I think physically, I always prioritized looking after my body, keeping it healthy. So I'm a home workout girl. I love doing home workouts. I've been doing them from a very young age. So I keep consistent with that, try and at least cover 20 to 30 minutes of home workouts every day. And
teach me your ways.
And definitely eat healthy. I have like maybe a few cheat days, 1 or 2, but you know, I come back from that and I, you know, maintain a healthy diet. And mentally, I love to meditate because I think it's a great way of becoming like a third observer of your thoughts, where you can just analyze how you're feeling in a more detached way instead of, you know, becoming emotional, because that's when you can, I think, make irrational choices. So meditation, you know, helps me from that point of view. And taking walks, you know, riding my bike, those are like great ways of, you know, reducing or letting go of any tension.
Girl, I need pointers on that because home workouts, I need to see myself in the gym to be motivated. Like,
yeah, it's like the gym pic, you know.
It's just like, I'm at the gym, guys, look at me.
Yes.
That is my motivation, like, you know, taking a pic, snapping, like keeping myself accountable. I really love that you're able to do that at home. So social media plays a very big part in our lives. How do you use your platform to promote your how do you use your platform to promote, like, your, say for instance, yourself, your platform? Like, how do you promote yourself, your advocacy, whatever it may be?
So I have a personal account and then I have a modeling account. And in terms of my modeling accounts, I promote myself by obviously posting the competitions I've won, and the amazing people I've met during those experiences. I also write a few little pieces on my Instagram account. It's actually been a bit of a while since I've done that, but I enjoy writing, so, you know, I figured that I'd use that in a way to, you know, to, I guess,
Promote change.
Yes, promote that change and that positivity, as you're saying. In terms of my personal account, I think I go wild in the sense that, you know, I just express who I am authentically and unconditionally and unforgivably. So, yes.
So, girl, can you tell me, how would you like to be remembered? You did say you want to participate in future pageants or your future contestants. How would you like them to remember you, or how would you like to be remembered by your community?
I think one of the sayings that have stuck with me during most of these pageants is that nothing is lost, meaning that we all make poor decisions in life. We all, you know, make mistakes. We all go through difficulties and challenges, and we make decisions that we think are the best for us in that moment, but reflecting on it later in life, you know, it turns out that it wasn't really. And I think the legacy I want to leave behind is that even if you have made mistakes, even if you have had setbacks and, you know, you have made a few wrong choices, it doesn't mean that it's too late to change and it's too late, you know, to overcome those challenges and become better, you know, and do better. So I think I would definitely promote the idea that nothing is lost, along with, you know, just keep doing better.
I really, really, really love that. You are so amazing.
Thank you, girl.
Thank you so much for
Hosting
joining me
skills.
today. So we have reached the end of our episode for today. From me and Sita. Until next time. Bye.
Bye.